Hello and welcome to Tosha. My name's Jenny and we're going to move through an intermediate vinyasa practice today. Let's start by getting centered for a moment. Make yourself comfortable sitting. You can let your hands rest on your knees. Close your eyes and relax into your breath. Start by taking a couple falling out breaths. Inhaling through the nose, exhale through the mouth. One more time, inhale and exhale. Let the day go, let your morning go. Seal the lips and settle into easy breaths, letting the belly soften. Allow the shoulders to relax. Press your sit bones down towards the earth and start to grow a little bit taller and line the shoulders up over your hips. Just taking some time to check in with your physical posture. Begin to scan your body for anything that stands out today. Whatever you notice in terms of sensations, some tightness perhaps, where your energy feels a little more stuck. Start to figure out what your body needs during this practice today, how your practice might serve you. And then bring your awareness to your mental space and notice the thoughts that might be coming and going. And perhaps if those thoughts have a theme to them, if they're bringing you out of the moment and pulling you towards the past or the future. And start to draw yourself into this moment by returning your awareness to your breathing. Watch the flow of the breath, each inhale and exhale. And when you're ready, take your arms up, please. Inhale and reach to the sky. Exhale and take your hands down to your heart and set an intention for your practice today. And while you're here, just acknowledge your effort in showing up on your mat to practice as well. Allow the eyes to open softly. And let's start by opening up the upper back. So as you inhale, turn your palms towards your face. Bring the forearms together to touch, elbows touch. Lift them as high as you can. And then flip the hands around and pull the elbows down, drawing the shoulder blades close together as you exhale. So you're kind of puffing up the chest there. Inhale again, scoop the arms up, shoulder blades spread out here. Exhale, flip the hands back around and pull down. 3 more of those. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale, pull it down. One more time, inhale, and exhale. Bring the hands back together. Turn the palms up with your fingers interlaced. We're flipping the hands now towards the ceiling. Pull the arms back. Move your chin down towards your chest and just feel into the back of your neck. Come back into the breath and see if you can draw your breath up towards your heart. or grow a little bit taller. Sit bones still anchored, and then let yourself just rise up. One more breath. And then on the next exhale, turn to your right and bring the hands down. So we'll take the left hand to the right knee and bring the right fingertips either to the floor behind you or reach around your waist. And you might be able to grab a hold of your pants or your inner thigh. Slowly shift your gaze back over your shoulder if you can. And take 2 more breaths. Tighten up the abdominals on the last exhale. And then inhale and unwind. Take your arms back up. And exhale, turn to the left, bringing the hands back down, left fingertips behind you, or reaching around your waist again to find that bind. Moving with your breath, every exhale, deepen your twist. Inhales, lift the heart up, grow the spine a little bit longer. And maybe your gaze can go back over your shoulder. On your next inhale, unwind again. Take your arms back up. And then bring your fingers down to the floor in front of you and start to feel into the hips here. So you might not need to go very far to find your edge, but do make your way there, finding strong sensations in one or both of the hips, maybe feeling into your low back as well. Close the eyes, and we'll take 2 or 3 more breaths right here. Every time your mind begins to wander and you become aware of that, just make your way back into your breathing. Start to rise back up, and if you'd like to shake your legs out, go ahead and do so before we transition into tabletop. All right, we'll come onto the hands and the knees at this point. Spread your fingers out, place the hands right under the shoulders, knees under the hips. The creases of the wrists are always parallel to the top of your mat here. Find that alignment, and then give yourself a few rounds of cat and cow poses. Inhale to open the heart, tilt the tailbone and the pubic bone up. Exhale, pull the belly in, and then the spine is just like a wave here, moving towards the top of the back as you exhale, chin towards the heart. Inhale, circle your shoulders way back, and then lift your gaze and open up. Exhale, push down with the hands, start to round your back and pull the belly in. One more of those, inhale, and exhale. Come back to your neutral spine and just start to open up the ribs by moving the hips in circles here. And there's no right or wrong way to move. You're just starting to get your body warmed up with whatever feels natural and fluid. So you can bend the elbows a little bit. You can get it to your neck and your shoulders. Stay with the flow of the breath, maybe inhaling as your chest expands a little more and exhaling as you round. Let's do a couple more breaths there. See how much of your body can be a part of this movement. And then take those circles in the opposite direction. Notice how your body feels today. Notice what stands out 2 more breaths. Starting to wake up. And then realign yourself in tabletop. Tuck your toes. Open up the heart, coming back into cow pose. One more time, and then lift your knees off the mat. And start to make your way into downward dog. Start with the knees bent here. Establish your strong foundation through the hands. Again, the fingers are spread out. Press down through the knuckles. Fire up the shoulders and open them away from the ears. Draw the belly up and in towards the spine and pull the sit bones way back. Feel that length. And then start to press one heel all the way down towards the mat. And then switch to the other foot. And begin to walk the feet out at a pace that feels good for you. Noticing the hamstrings, the calves right behind your knees. And as much as you can, let your neck relax. Think about the crown of the head hanging heavy towards the earth. A couple more breaths warming up. Shift the hips from side to side, whatever feels good. And then settle your heels down towards your mat as close as you can. So we're going to move into plank. Your spine is like a wave here. Start to draw your shoulders over your wrists as you roll forward and keep the belly hugged inwards. On an exhale, lift the hips up high and return to downward facing dog. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, rolling forward into plank. Keep the abs firm there. Draw the shoulders back, and then exhale, hips up high, and return to down dog, Adho Mukha Shavasana. Last one, inhale, roll forward into plank, and exhale, hips up, work the abs, and return to down dog. Set the feet a little closer together, and then we'll take the right leg up on an inhale. Reach up and back through the toes. Keep the right hip turned down. Flex your right foot. And just kick as high as you can while you maintain that alignment. One more inhale here. And then exhale, bring your knee to your heart and move the shoulders over the wrists. Round your back. Work the abs here. See if you're able to touch your nose to your knee. Inhale, kick the right leg back again. And exhale, step the right foot all the way through in between your hands. Reach the heart forward. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. And you might like to have blocks underneath your hands. Take 2 more breaths. Shoulders back. You can take your gaze forward. And then on an exhale, start to straighten your right leg. And maybe fold over your thigh to deepen that stretch there. Melting the heart down. One more breath. Inhale, bend the right knee again. Reach the heart forward, maybe sink in a little deeper to feel into the left quad. Exhale, straighten the right leg, bow down, take your chest over your thigh. One more time, moving on the breath. Inhale and exhale. From there, release into downward dog once more. Step your right foot back by your left. Inhale, take the left foot up, please. Start to kick back. You can flex your foot. Keep the left hip turned down. Find that pressure down through the hands. Let the arms get longer. Chest moves a little closer to the thigh. On your exhale, take your left knee in towards your heart. Move the shoulders over the wrists. Start to round the back. Come up way up high on your right toes. Squeeze and try to touch your nose to your left knee. Inhale, kick the left leg back again. And exhale, left foot in between your hands. Reach the heart out once more. Pull your shoulders back. If you want more of a challenge, you can even play with just reaching towards the mat, but not actually touching it. 2 more breaths. On an exhale, begin to straighten your right leg out. And then maybe take your chest closer to your thigh. Always looking for your edge, looking for strong but manageable sensations. Inhale, bend the left knee. Reach your heart forward, sink the hips down a little bit more, feeling into the top of the right leg. And then exhale, pull the hips back, straighten, and bow down. Last one, moving with the breath. Inhale. And exhale. Step your left foot back by your right. Downward dog. Inhale and return to plank. This time, lower yourself all the way down to your mat, chaturanga, heart, throat, and chin down, followed by your belly and your thighs. Take the hands right under the shoulders, press the tops of the feet and the thighs down, and then lift the heart off the mat in low cobra. Take 2 more breaths, feeling the back body working hard, your glutes, your low back. Keep your legs engaged. And then exhale, slowly come back down. We're going to try and rise up a little higher now. Inhale to lift and begin to straighten the arms a little bit more. We're keeping the thighs down, but you're lifting your heart and really rolling the chest open, feeling that opening of the front and the back body here. Exhale, slowly roll back down again. And then take your hands a little wider, elbows facing straight up, right over your wrists. Inhale and rise, come up onto the fingertips and open here. Draw the shoulder blades closer together. Look over your right shoulder and then look over your left. Come back to center and slowly roll back down. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders again, elbows near the ribs, tuck the toes under, press back up into plank. And all the way into downward dog, hips up high. On an inhale, come up high onto your tiptoes. Exhale to bend the knees deeply, look forward and step or walk to the hands. Taking your feet hip width apart at the top of the mat, inhale and lengthen out your spine. Exhale into a deep forward fold. You can grab your ankles here if that's accessible. And pull. The crown of the head is reaching downwards. Feel free to keep holding on to the ankles or change it up by bringing your hands together behind you and interlacing the fingers to make a fist and then reach the arms overhead. And you don't need to force the legs to straighten. Do what feels natural for you, perhaps bending the knees a little bit. Feel into the upper back and your shoulders as your arms hang heavy if you are reaching over. If you're holding onto the ankles, deepen that stretch. Take 2 more breaths, diving down. Notice how you feel here as you surrender. Again, inviting yourself to let go of the day and anything else you need to shed. Inhale, lift up halfway. Press the hands against the shins. Press down through the feet. Heart is reaching out. And then exhale back into a forward fold. And from here, we'll rise all the way up to stand. Inhale, come all the way up, bring the arms up, take the hands together, and exhale down to heart center. Pause here for a breath, closing the eyes, and just check in and notice how you feel. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, forward fold, dive down. Inhale, lift up halfway, long, smooth spine. Exhale, return to plank. And again, lower down with as much control as you can, chaturanga. Inhale into either cobra again, or upward dog, straightening the arms all the way and lifting the thighs and maybe your knees, if your back feels ready for that. Tuck the toes back under and use your abdominals to rise back into downward dog again. Find your alignment and then reach the right foot up as you're ready, kicking back through your toes. Exhale, take the right foot in between your hands. Rise up into warrior one on your next breath. We'll have the outer edge of the left foot turned out. Toes turn out. Take the fingers to the sky. Bring your right knee directly over your ankle. And then align the hips, squaring them off. Send the fingers up. If you'd like, you can play with bringing the hands together and let your head drop back to open up the throat. Stay connected to your breath here and start to find your strength and your power in your legs as you feel that heat. 3 more breaths. Last one. And then make your way into warrior two. So you're opening the back foot up a little bit more at this point, so your left foot's parallel to the end of the mat. The right knee is still directly over the ankle. Take the gaze out over the fingers or close your eyes for the last couple breaths. Relax the shoulders. Feel your hip opening up as you sink in here. And then turn the right palm up and reverse your warrior, reaching up and back with the right hand. On an exhale, bring the hands down. They're going to come to the inside of your right foot. Turn the left toes forward, drop your left knee, and then walk your right foot towards the edge of your mat and turn the toes out slightly, so about a 45-degree angle on your right foot. Start to sink down here, maybe coming onto the block or onto your forearms until you arrive in lizard pose. So this is a pretty deep stretch in the hip. So you're going to find your edge pretty quickly. Use the breath to support yourself in being there, slowly dropping in and letting the muscles soften. If you'd like to take a twist at this point, you could reach your right hand back and either place it on your low back, or you can grab a hold of the left foot and start to feel into your left quad quite a bit. Let's take 3 more breaths. Maybe closing the eyes, letting go of external distractions, and just bringing all of your attention to the right hip and to your breath. And then slowly start to make your way back out. So as you come up, walk your right foot back to the center of the mat. Lift your left knee, and before we come out, let's move into a twist, bringing the right arm to the sky. Reach up with the right hand, spread your fingers out. And then if you'd like a neck release here, let your head hang and take your right fingertips back while you drop your left ear towards your shoulder, and then you'll feel into the right side of your neck. Keep the inner thighs squeezing towards one another. One more big breath. And then take the right hand all the way up and over, bring it back down to the outside of your foot, and swing the right leg, all the way back into that 3-legged dog. From there, you can bend your knee and let your right hip open up. Return to downward dog, and take a vinyasa if you'd like to, in between sides, by returning to plank as you inhale. Exhale, slowly lower down, chaturanga. Inhale into cobra or upward dog, and exhale, tuck the toes and press back, downward dog. Inhale the left leg up and back. Exhale, take your foot in between your hands. Turn the right toes out slightly. Rise up into warrior one on the second side. Left knee right over the ankle, align the hips, sweep the arms up, and breathe. So as you sink in a little deeper, continue to apply pressure with your right foot so you stay anchored at the end of your mat. If you'd like to take the hands together again, bring them together and let your head drop back. And shifting your gaze up will make it a little more challenging. You can really work on your balance here and become more aware of the corners of your feet rooting down. 3 more breaths. Return to warrior two. So small pivot on your back foot. Open it up, reach through the fingers, drop the shoulders. If you're not at your edge yet, take the feet slightly farther apart and then sink in a little bit deeper. Root the tailbone down towards the earth, not tucking it under, but just drawing it downwards. 3 more breaths here. And feeling into your power and your strength in this strong pose. Turn your left palm up towards the sky. Inhale into exalted warrior. And exhale, take your hands down. Coming back into lizard, both hands will come to the inside of your left foot. Turn the right toes forward, bring your right knee down. And then walk the left foot towards the edge of the mat, toes turning out slightly, and start to sink into your hip again. So now feeling into your left side, you might examine the 2 sides of the body and notice which one is the tighter one, or if they feel balanced. And try closing the eyes. Again, bringing your awareness within. Checking in with the body, your breath, and notice anything else that might be arising right now as a result of being in this hip opening pose. We tend to store a lot of life's experiences in our hips. So just notice what's arising for you without judging it, but from a compassionate witness's perspective. If you did take a twist on the first side, make sure you come back into that on the second as well. And we'll take 2 more breaths. All right, let's start to make our way back out. Hands onto the mat, walk the left foot in a little bit. And then we'll tuck the right toes under, lift your right knee, and then reach the left hand to the sky. Open up your heart here, pull the top shoulder back. You can let your ear drop if you'd like to find that stretch through the neck, again, the left side. As your right ear drops, you can send your left hand back, and then just feel that sensation from the neck and maybe even down your arm to your wrist. Take your left hand up and over, bring it back down by your foot, and then stretch the left leg all the way back. Kick through the toes, bend your knee, let your hip open up if that feels good. And then return to downward dog, Adho Mukha Shavasana. Settle into the pose, and then flow. Inhale, roll forward into plank. Keep the abs firm, lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, rise onto the tops of the feet. Open the heart into cobra or upward dog. Tuck the toes back under, hips up high, and return to downward dog. Letting the breath fall out through the mouth. Settle your chest a little closer to the thighs. Abs are strong, shoulders are wrapping. Relax the neck, shake your head yes or no.
And then inhale up high onto the tiptoes again. Exhale to bend the knees deeply. Look forward and again step, walk, or hop to the hands, feet hip width apart. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, deep forward fold. And inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Arms up, hands together, and exhale to heart center. And inhale, reach up. Exhale, deep forward fold. Melt the heart down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, return to plank. And either go right into downward dog and rest or take a vinyasa here again. Unite your breath with your movements. From downward dog, extend your right leg up. Bend the right knee, pull your hip back and open. And as you open your hip, keep your shoulders squared. Inhale, stretch the right leg back again, turn the hip down. Exhale, take your foot to the top of your mat, in between your hands again. Come up into a high crescent lunge, reach up, and then take your hands together and bring them down to the heart as you exhale. 2 more times. Inhale, reach to the sky. Maybe take the gaze up. Exhale, hands back down to the heart. And once more, inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands to the heart. So we're going to try pushing off of the left toes, coming onto the right foot just a tiny bit. Keep your right knee bent. And then bring the left toes back down. We're rocking back and forth here. Step onto the right foot, almost like you're going to move into warrior 3. Left toes about a foot off the floor. Bring them back down, and one more time. Push off, coming onto the right foot. Keep your knee bent, and then bring the left foot back down. Reach the arms up to the sky again. Exhale, return to warrior 2. Pivoting on the left foot. Open up, reaching forward and back. And then bring the right hand to your heart and start to drop your elbow down towards the inside of your knee. Send the left hand straight up. If you'd like to deepen, you can bring your right hand down to your block or to the mat. If you keep your hand at your heart, just play with pressing the knee open a little bit to stay with that hip opener. Otherwise, your hand could come down, or you could try and bind the hands together with the right hand going underneath your thigh while the left hand comes behind. Really root down through your left foot here. We'll take about 3 or 4 more breaths. Staying long through the ribs, reaching out through the crown of the head. Return to warrior 2. Exhale all year out. Turn the right palm up, reverse your warrior here. And then straighten your right leg, a moment of relief here as we reach forward and come into triangle. Hinging at the hips, drop your right hand to the inner ankle and reach to the sky with the left hand. Find the abdominal strength here. So you're hugging everything in, a little bit of a tuck to the tailbone. Press down through the feet and grow in every direction. If you'd like to work a little harder here, you can take both hands and reach out in front of your head. Make sure your back, your low back feels up for that. Inner right thigh is receiving the stretch. Last 2. Separate your hands again and rise back up to stand. Return to warrior 2 and reverse your warrior. Inhaling. Exhale, hands come down, step back into plank and lower down as slowly as you can, maybe even hovering above the floor for a moment before you rise into cobra or upward dog. Tuck the toes back under or roll over them, downward dog. Take a breath, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Take the left leg up as you inhale. Exhale, bend your knee, roll your hip open. Hold for a breath, keeping the shoulders squared as you do so. And then straighten the left leg back out again. As you exhale, take the left foot to the top of the mat and prepare to rise into a high crescent lunge, finding your roots through your feet. Come to stand, reach to the sky, bring the hands together, and exhale, take them down to your heart. 2 more. Inhale, reach up, open through the top of the heart. Exhale, hands back down. And 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale, hands down to the heart. So pushing off of your right toes now. Come onto the left foot, keeping the left knee bent. Lift your right toes maybe a foot off of the mat. And then bring them back down and stand up tall. 2 more times. Push off. So just working on strengthening the left leg here. Right toes back down. And 1 more time. Push off. Stand on the left foot. And exhale. Right toes down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, warrior 2. Reach out. Extend forward and back. Sink into your left hip. Relax your shoulders. Gaze out over the fingertips. Keep the abdominals firm. And then bring the left hand to the heart. Drop your elbow towards the inner knee and gently press against it. Right hand to the sky. Open up. And just decide where you're going, maybe balancing out the 2 sides of the body. So whatever you did with your right leg, you can now do with your left. Hold for 3 or 4 more breaths and grow along the right side of your body. Feel your strength growing here in your left leg. Last one. And then return to warrior 2. And exhale. Inhale, exalted warrior. And exhale into triangle. As you straighten your left leg, you're hinging at the hips. Drop your fingertips down. Reach the right arm to the sky. Feel the heart opening up. Push down through the feet. And then if you want to work a little harder, you can take both hands and reach out in front of your head for the last 3 or 4. And this is a really nice way to build some strength here in your abs. Let's separate the hands again. Return to stand. Bend your knee, coming back into warrior 2, and you can reverse your warrior 1 more time there, and then take the vinyasa. Hands down, return to plank. Lower down slowly, again, possibly hovering right above your mat before you roll over the toes and come into upward dog. Exhale, tuck the toes back under, and press back, downward dog. Take 3 resting breaths here. Settling the heart again, relaxing your neck, and pressing down through the hands. So before we come to the top of the mat, let's take a twist. Bring your left hand back for the outside of the right ankle or right calf, wherever you can grab and pull. And then turn the chest and keep your right hip drawing back. And the more you pull and turn here, the more you're going to feel it in your upper back, opening that area up. Keep the abs strong. Last 1 or 2. And then take the left hand back to the top of the mat and reach your right hand back for the outside of the left ankle and pull. Notice if one side feels any different from the other. And if you feel your left hip popping forward, just gently guide it back. Keep pressing your heels down towards your mat. Last 2 breaths. Take your right hand back to the top of the mat. Inhale up high onto your toes. Exhale and bend the knees, look forward and step again to the top of your mat in between your hands. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, arms up, hands together, and exhale to your heart. Close your eyes.
And breathe here in mountain pose, just feeling the heartbeat for a moment. Slow the breath down. All right, so let's let our eyes softly open, and let's do a couple of balancing poses. Let's start with tree first. We'll come onto the right foot, and we'll move from tree into toppling tree. Take your left foot to the inner ankle, to your calf or your inner thigh. Start by really spreading the right toes out so that you've found your roots. And then once you feel like you're able to lift your left foot, lift it up and press firmly against your right leg and bring the hands to the heart. Steady yourself by listening to your breath, let it flow. Keep coming back to the corners of your foot, which help you stay grounded. Evenly distribute your weight there. And then root the tailbone down and lift your heart. Take the arms up if you'd like to. And let's try bringing the hands together and interlacing the fingers. You can release the index fingers here, and this will set us up for toppling tree. So we're going to turn the left knee forward, which will release the foot. And then you're going to kick straight back. And then as your toes go up, your fingers are going down. Breathe. See if you can reach your fingertips to the floor ahead while your toes reach to the sky. So you've got this nice diagonal line from fingers to toes. If you'd like, you can separate the hands and make this a little easier. Last 3 breaths. And to come out, place your hands on your hips, bend your right knee, and carefully rise back up. And return to mountain, finding your breath again. Inhale and exhale. Shift your weight onto your left foot. Spread the toes out. Root down through the corner of your heel. 2 corners at the heel, outer edge of your big toe and your pinky toe. And then the right foot can come to the inner ankle, inner calf, or up to your inner thigh. Firmly press. Lift the heart. The hands can start at the heart with your thumbs pressing in. Feel the heart rise. The crown of the head rises, but keep your roots as well. And then take the arms up whenever you feel ready, extending through your fingertips. Find a soft, focused gaze, your drishti. And let's take a couple more here. All right, hands coming together. Change the cross of the fingers. And then pull your fingertips up, bringing your arms close to your ears. Release the right foot. Start to kick straight back. And it's just like a tree toppling down. Your fingers go down, your chest is moving towards your thigh, while your right leg kicks as high as possible. So you're really receiving the stretch in the back of the left leg, and the right leg continues to power up. If you can, draw your arms closer to your ears. Pull the belly in tightly. Your whole body is working here. 3 more big breaths. Last one. Bring your hands to your hips. Bend your left knee. Rise to stand. Hands to the heart. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, reach your arms up, feet hip-width apart. Let's get into this side body here. Touch the palms together, cross one thumb over the other. Keep the abs strong and lean to the right just a little bit, opening up the left side and working the left oblique muscles. You can look up under your arm as well towards the ceiling. Keep pressing down through your feet and keep the hips aligned, straight ahead. 2 more breaths. Inhale, lift up strong. Exhale to the other side. Open, press down through the feet. Look up underneath your right arm. Tailbone is rooting downwards, not tucking, but lengthening. Two more breaths. Stay with your strength here. Feel it growing. And then inhale from the abdominals, lift up, return to a forward fold here, bow down. You can bend your knees, take the chest to the thighs, grab the ankles, drop your head, just relax the neck all the way, relax the upper body. You can even let your chest just drape over your legs. And then inhale and lift up halfway. Exhale back into a deep forward fold, pull. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale into plank. Step your feet back. Slowly lower down, chaturanga. Inhale into cobra or upward dog. Shine the heart open there. And exhale, down dog. Inhale, extend your right leg up. Exhale, take the right foot to the top of the mat, in between the hands, and return to a high crescent lunge. Arms up. This time bring the hands together. And we'll take the left elbow up and over to the outside of the right knee for a deep twist here. Push the right hand into the left. Turn your heart, turn your gaze. If you're working on binds today, separate the hands. And you might like to try and reach your right hand around behind your waist while the left hand goes underneath to find the fingertips. So that's an option. Otherwise, keep pressing the right hand into the left. And as the thumbs move towards the heart, and your heart turns, and your shoulder gets closer and closer to your knee, you can really tighten up that twist, and maybe look back over your right shoulder. We'll take 2 more breaths. See if you can grow any longer through the crown of the head. And then unwind. Take the fingers down to frame your foot, and straighten your right leg out. Reach out through the crown of the head, long, smooth spine, and then as you exhale, bow your heart down over your right leg and rest here. So almost in pyramid, we've got a little more space in between the feet. If you want, you can take your left foot a little closer and press your left heel down into the mat as well. A couple more breaths here, releasing the back of the right leg. From there, we're going to come into a low crescent lunge. Step the left toes back again. Bend your right knee, bringing it right over your ankle as the left knee comes down. And then inhale, arms back up. Reach up here. If you want to sink in deeper, you can. You want to keep your right knee over your ankle, but you can sink a little closer. You could let the heart open. I like to place my head in my hands and then enjoy the heart opener without having to put any pressure or strain on the neck. And give yourself support there. Last breath, please. And then coming back out, place your hands underneath your shoulders, lift the left knee, step back into plank as you inhale and exhale. Take the vinyasa. And remember, you can always skip this. Really listen to your body and make your practice exactly what you need, taking rest when you need it. From downward dog, lift the left leg. Exhale, step your foot to the top of your mat in between your hands. Return to a high crescent lunge as you inhale. Bring the hands together and we'll come back into that twist. So you're going up and over with your right elbow now to the outside of the right knee. Push down with the left hand. Start to bring the thumbs towards the heart. Press back through the right heel. Open the chest up. And if you'd like to work on that bind again, you can start to separate your hands. Now, the closer your armpit gets to your knee, the easier this will be to access. But you can take your left hand behind you and around your waist. The right hand would maneuver underneath the thigh to find the fingertips. And then open the heart. Take 3 or 4 more breaths. Keep reaching out through the crown of your head and also pushing back through the right heel. Thumbs to heart center. Unwind on your next breath. Frame your foot with your fingers. Straighten out your left leg. Reach the heart and the crown of the head out, finding more length in your spine. And then as you exhale, consider bowing down and taking your chest all the way to your thigh. And relax. Relax into your breath. Relax into the sensation. 4 more, please. And you can step the right foot closer if you'd like to anchor your heel to the mat. Last breath. And then coming out, wiggle the right toes back again. Bend the left knee. Set the right knee down on the mat. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, sink into your low crescent lunge. Maybe dropping down a little more to feel into the left quad. And this is a nice preparation for the splits. If you'd like to open the heart a little more and give your neck support, place your head in your hands. And then just feel that expansion. And take 2 more here as you open up. Coming out, hands underneath the shoulders. Lift your right knee off the mat and step back into plank. As you inhale, exhale, slowly lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog, and exhale, back into downward dog. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Inhale up high onto your toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, and step to the hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to stand, arms up. Hands coming back together and to heart center. Breathe here. Close the eyes. Take a moment to get grounded again. Let's let the eyes softly open. So I'd like to try coming into dancer. And if you'd like to use a strap, but you don't have a strap, you can definitely use a scarf or a sock. So I'm going to give you a couple of options. You can either come into dancer using the strap by just folding it in half. Don't even have to make a loop necessarily. And you can place the top of the left foot in your strap and come into it this way, okay, just holding on. You can also try and grab a hold of your foot, which you might even find a little bit easier. We'll have the knees close together there. The left arm will come up, and then you'll kick back. Our last option is going to be full dancer using the strap and taking both hands down the strap. So I'm going to show that to you. And then at that point, you can decide which version of dancer you'd like to do. So if you're going to do both hands, you're going to take your left foot into your strap and then bring the strap over your shoulder. Lift your elbow, keep your arm near your face, and then both hands will come to the strap and you're kind of hugging in. And at that point, you can start to walk your hands down your strap and then lift the toes. So this is a really nice heart opener. You'll feel it in your low and mid back as well, and the shoulders. You can let the arms fall back a little, and then maybe walk the hands closer. And at some point, you might be able to grab a hold of your foot with both hands. So let's take about 5 more breaths. in either one of those poses. Stay with the breath, stay with an open heart, and keep the gaze soft, coming back to your drishti. Last two. Maybe opening up a little more, and then come out slowly and carefully. And as you release, take your hands to your knees and circle them around. Circle the hips around as well. All right. Coming to the second side, we'll stand on the left foot. So spread your toes out, always finding the corners of your foot when you're about to balance on one side. And you can either reach down and catch the inside or the outside of your left foot, or use your strap. So I'm going to do it the other way for this second side. Left fingers can come up, and then as you begin to hinge at the hips and kick back, make sure that you're not putting too much pressure on the left toes. You still want to ground down evenly. Lift the right toes a little higher. Reach out through your fingers like you're offering a gift. And then just be with your breath and the sensations. And if you lose your balance, refrain from judging yourself. Let go of competition. And just accept where your body's at today. Again, finding that compassionate witness perspective. We'll take a couple more here. Last breath. And then slowly rise back up. Take your arms to the sky as you inhale. And coming back into your last forward fold, bend your knees as you bring your chest towards your thighs. That should feel good. Let the crown of the head drop. Take your hands behind you, interlace the fingers, and reach your arms overhead, moving back to surrender in the shoulders one more time. Head is nice and heavy. You might like to start straightening the legs out. We'll take 2 more breaths, allowing the arms to fall overhead. And then bring your arms back around. So making our way towards the mat, you can come into a squat. Your feet need to come a little bit wider. You might even have your toes off your mat. Turn the toes out slightly. Bring your elbows towards the inner creases of the knees. And gently press open here, moving the thumbs back towards the heart in prayer. So you can rest in a squat, or if you'd like to play with crow instead and squeeze an arm balance into your practice, you can come into crow with me. So if you're coming into crow, bring the hands about shoulder distance apart. Lift the hips up high. I'm going to turn sideways here. Hips are up high. Bring the toes closer together. And then rise up high onto your tiptoes. The hips stay up. Again, you don't want them to drop down. It's going to make it more challenging. So hips up in the air. Take your knees right towards your armpits. And as you shift the weight into your hands, you'll feel lots of pressure on the triceps. And this can be uncomfortable at the beginning when you're getting used to crow. And then you can try and lift one or both feet off your mat and point the toes. You want to engage your feet there. Slowly start to draw the heels up towards your body, tucking in. And your gaze can be just ahead of the fingertips, right down at your mat. So take as many breaths as you'd like to in crow. And then you can return to that squat when you feel done. From the squat, if you'd like to open up the heart one more time, take your left shoulder towards the inner knee and then open your arms up. And then switch to the other side. Right shoulder to the inner knee. Open up, spread the fingers out. And then come back to center. And let's have a seat on the mat. All right. So from here, we're going to take one more twist. Take your right Take your left foot over your right knee. Bend your right knee, drawing the heel back in, and then both sit bones are going to press down into your mat. Now you can either wrap your right arm around your knee, or you can take your elbow to the outside of the left knee and kind of use that as leverage. You want to be able to lift your heart and grow nice and long in the spine. Take your left hand, reach up and over, and then land the fingertips on the floor behind you. Breathe deeply. Every exhale is an opportunity to deepen your twist and work the abdominals here. 3 more breaths. And see if you can grow a little taller on the last one. And exhale to release. As you come out, we'll move towards box. Take your right foot, inch it forward so that your right leg ends up making a 90-degree angle on your mat. Lift the left foot off the mat. Stack your left ankle on the knee so your foot is on the outside of your knee, and then your knee will be over your right ankle. So you're setting up as much of a box as you can. Now this is a really big hip opener. It's kind of intense. So if it feels like too much, you can come into half lotus instead and bring the feet in more. But if you're working at that 90-degree angle with both legs, you'll feel a pretty strong sensation. So if you're not feeling too much, the next thing you can do is begin to press your left knee down, or you can even start to fold forward over your legs. Keep your feet flexed here to protect your knees. Close the eyes. We're going to take about 5 or 6 more breaths. So settle into the sensation. Notice again any emotions that might be arising while we feel into the hips. And then just use your breath to soften. Slow it down. And notice how the muscles might respond. And continue to practice self-care. If your body is sending you a clear message that it's too much, back out a little bit. Give yourself 1 or 2 more inhales and exhales. And then walk your fingers back in. If you're folding, just lean back and release the legs and shake them out. All right, coming into the twist on the second side, right foot over the left knee, and then go ahead and bend your knee. Take both sit bones, press them back down into the mat, and you also want your right foot to be pressing down. Take the left elbow to the outside of the knee or wrap your arm around it, and then reach up with your right hand. Extend the fingers to the sky, down towards the mat, and then lift the heart. See if you can grow an inch or 2 taller on the inhale. Exhale, squeeze through the abdominals. Deepen your twist, maybe looking back over your shoulder. Keep pressing down through your right foot and work the abdominals here. Starting from your base in that twist, right at your core, and then turning the upper body. Take 2 more. And then begin to unwind. And we'll open into box. Walk the left foot forward until you've got a 90-degree angle there, if it's comfortable. Right ankle comes over the left knee. Flex that foot. And then settle yourself here. So both feet flexed. You're aligned as much as possible. You're modifying if your hips feel really tight today. That's fine. And if you're not quite at your edge, you can apply a little pressure onto the knee, or you can bring your fingertips in front of you. and start to walk them forward, feeling into your hip. Now, I notice that I tend to squeeze in the inner thighs, definitely armoring and trying to resist softening. So just notice what your body's doing. And if there are any muscles that are clinging and holding on tightly, see if you can use your breath to help them let go. Take a few more breaths, maybe a couple of them out through the mouth. Calming and soothing the body. Three more. And then notice if you want to go a little deeper or if you need to potentially back out a little bit. Last breath. Long exhale. And then walk your hands in. Sit up, shake the legs out once more. And before we come onto our backs, we'll take the legs wide. This should feel pretty good after box. So you could sit on a pillow or on a blanket if you're feeling tight here. Take the legs comfortably wide, flex the feet, turning the toes up and pulling them back. Take your right hand, you can grab your strap if you'd like, down towards the outer edge of your right foot or towards your ankle, or you can use a strap here. Start to pull and reach the left arm over and feel into the left side of the body one more time. Reach out, try and keep the right sit bone anchored. And then rise up and make your way right to the other side and take about 4 or 5 breaths here. Open heart. Reach through the fingertips. Your palm is turning down towards the floor. And then rise up. Bring your fingertips in front of you. Walk them down just a little bit, feeling into the inner thighs. Move back to your edge, taking in 3 more breaths, please. Start to slow the breath down. Last one here, go deeper if you can. And rise back up. Take your hands outside your legs, outside the knees, to bring them in carefully and slowly. Give your legs a little shake. And then we're going to come down onto our backs and make our way towards Shavasana in just a moment. So giving yourself enough room to roll down, bend your knees, turn the palms up. Try rolling down as slowly as you can to work the abdominals one more time. And then bring your knees to your heart and squeeze. Set your feet down on your mat. We're going to come up into bridge one time. So feet hip width apart. See if you can touch the ankles with your fingertips. And start by pressing your low back down into the mat. From there, begin to peel the spine up off the floor. Take the hips up high. Just bend your elbows here, fingertips facing the ceiling. And press down with the triceps. Try and draw your chest a little closer to your chin. Feel into your upper back here. Find the strength in the legs. And keep your thighs parallel to one another.
3 or 4 more breaths. Stay lifted and open. Press down through the corners of the feet. And on this last breath, lift as high as you can. And then bring the arms back down and start to roll back down. And once you reach the mat, take the knees back to the heart. Wrap your arms around your legs. Lift the head and shoulders up. Getting into a tight ball. And then release again. Rolling down. We'll keep the right knee drawn into the chest. Stretch the left leg out on the mat. And pull your right knee across your body with your left hand. Reach out with the right arm. Open the heart and enjoy this final twist here. Stay connected to your breath. Staying present. Roll out if you're ready. Bring your left knee up by your right. Recenter yourself and then stretch the right leg out. Pull the left knee across your body. And open up the heart again. Turn your head to the left, close the eyes. So this will be our last pose before Shavasana. Become aware of any parts of your body that might still be needing some attention today. Roll out of your twist on your next breath. And if there's anything else you feel you need to do before you can rest and let go, please take care of yourself. And then start to set yourself up for Shavasana whenever you're ready. You might like a blanket underneath your knees or your thighs. Turn your palms to the sky and close your eyes. And this is a time to let go of control in both the body and the mind. Practice releasing the muscles and then let the mind follow. And when you notice your mind beginning to wander, as it will do, invite yourself to return your awareness to your breath. Again, not judging the mental process, but just choosing, again, to listen to each inhale and exhale as a way of staying present, grounded, centered, and peaceful. Watch the rise and fall of the belly and of the chest. And let yourself begin to melt from the top of the head, the shoulders and the arms, all the way down the back, through the legs and the feet. Come back to your intention for your practice while you rest here. And just see if there's anything else that you need to do mindfully.
Continue to surrender here. And invite yourself to be here for as long as you need to, giving back to your body, your mind, and your spirit. Whenever you feel ready to begin to move, you can. If you'd like to stay on your back, that's fine as well. You can start to move the hands and the feet if you're ready. Take a final stretch, reaching your arms all the way back. And then roll over onto one side of your body and bring the knees towards the heart. Resting in the fetal posture, take a big breath. And then press the hands down and start to rise up to sit, finishing your practice the way you began. Anchoring the sit bones towards the earth, lifting the heart and relaxing the shoulders. Notice how you feel now in comparison to how you felt when you first began your practice. Just taking in all the changes. And when you're ready, inhale and reach the arms up one last time. Bring your hands together and return them to your heart. And pause here to honor yourself for showing up to practice today and to honor this practice. Namaste.